So I'll see how this goes. Might not even keep it. We'll see. I'm kind of on Skype at the same time, and someone might message me, so it might whatever, and yeah, whatever. Um, Rant and ramble. I'm about women this time. Um, Now I kind of approach this how I approach the about men thing because well, one, I'm not a woman, and two, I a male can't really speak on females, just as a female can't really speak on men. Because the thing is, even if you slept with a bunch of women, you're talking about mine now. You slept with a bunch of women, or you talked to a bunch of women, or whatever, whatever, a bunch of women. Men and women interact a certain way. No matter how close they get, they interact a certain way. So you can always see that facet of them, or those facets of them. You never see the other stuff that only women, other women would see. So, grain of salt. Um, I guess what I'll talk about women on a level of what a man sees and thinks about them and whatever, whatever, right? Um, I guess the first thing is that there's really nothing like a good woman, like a good woman. There's really nothing like it. Because the thing about a good woman is they make everything around them better just because they exist. Um, and the thing about this is, like, when it's a bad version of the gender, it'll be the inverse of the thing. So, for a bad woman, it's like she makes everything worse when she shows up, when she's around. You see? Um, like I've said in two other things, I think only one's on YouTube at this point. Um, it's all about women. Like at the end of the day, everything really revolves around them. Everything that men do, everything that men really invest in um, for women. Um, Fashion is for women, I think. Yeah, men could dress and whatever, whatever. And it's not for other men, really. I mean, on some level, I guess. Oh, look, he's fresh, whatever. Jeans, I don't know. But that's about as far as I go. I don't really go too far of, you know, enjoying other men's clothes like that. Um, so it's really to attract women at the end of the day. And then about women's clothes for women too, because men, we don't care. It could all be like a puddle on the floor eventually. So we don't really care how your hair is, what makeup you have on, the clothes you have on. Doesn't that mean, you know what I mean? It don't really matter to us like that. You know? It's just it's funny how women try and force things to be about them when it already is. Just naturally. Just naturally it'll do this. You don't have to manipulate a guy into idolizing you. And idolizing is a bad word to use because it isn't really that. It's not some aloof thing that you unnaturally like into like that. It's not some over and above me thing. It's not an idol. It's someone connected at the hip. It's a helpmate. It's someone, you know. It's the wingman. At the end of the day. So it isn't that. But you know what I mean. It's like okay, women will ask a guy, how do I look in this, or do I look fat in this, or you think I'm pretty, or you like my hair, or whatever. Like to me, it's a silly question. Like I understand why it's asked. You want validation, whatever, whatever, whatever. I'm not a psychologist. Whatever, whatever, right? Like I have an idea anyway of why it's asked, right? But if the dude there with you, that's validation enough. If it's once again, everything is based on the good version. If it's a good guy, if it's a good girl, that's what it's based off of. So when I say things like that, it should be understood that's what I'm talking about. If the guy there with you, that mean he think you pretty and whatever, whatever, and he like you and whatever, whatever. Because he don't have to be. That's that's the beautiful thing about that principle. That's why you're not supposed to fight against that principle of a dude will do whatever. Because it means when he isn't doing whatever, as in just a little wisp or anything, he with you and he focused on you, whatever. I mean, he into you. I mean, he's not going anywhere. Why would he? You know, because he can just say, "Ah, well, I'm bored of this. I'm gonna go somewhere else," and don't feel really a way about it. You know, so it's good to know. See, once you know, you can apply it and see how it is applied. That's the thing. So if to do it there, and don't force it, you can't fandangle it. Let it naturally be. If it'll be, it'll be. If you force it, it's unnatural at that point. It will fall apart. It has to just be what it is. If it's not being what it is, it's straining to become what you want it to be, and in that strain, it destroys it from the inside out. Nothing you can do about it. So you don't need to do all that stuff. You know what I mean? Just love each other. All this stuff that I talk about, all this stuff I talk about, boils down to that. Just really love each other on every level. Just unconditional, erotic love, yeah. It's even a family thing if you think about it. You know, it, a man and woman is everything to each other. They're everything to each other. That's why it's so important to be well rounded. Not rounded. Well rounded. You have everything covered well. Well rounded. So when they need a father figure, that's what you could be at that moment. When they need a brother figure, that's what you could be at that moment. When they need a husband, that's what you could be at that moment. Hell, when they need a son, you could be that in that moment. They need to take care of people. You could become that. It goes back to the chameleon thing on a level. But this works for both men and women. Women are everything to us as well. Wife, mother, sister, daughter, they're everything. You know? And when something's missing, it falls apart again. It's fragile. It's fragile. It's fragile. That's the thing about it. It's fragile. That's why you have to be well-rounded and strong to keep it together. Because it's fragile. And if you're fragile, well, it falls apart. You know? You can't be selfish. You can't even be self-centered. You can't. There's no room for that. There's no room. Both men and women. You know? But, and that's one thing, speaking of women, since it's about them, that's one thing you could really say about them. They're really selfless creatures a lot of times. A lot of times. And it's amazing. It's really amazing. I say sometimes that to certain things that happens, right? And you want to talk about it with someone. For a man, right? You talk to your boys, you know, and it is a weight lifted, somewhat. But when you talk to a female, even if it's just a friend, even if it's just a female you know, it's like natural. It's natural. It falls into a groove, and the weight's lifted. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The interaction between men and women is a beautiful thing. It's a dance. It's a song. It's so many metaphors for it because it's all of those things and none of them. Yeah, women are the center of it all. And women are the center of it all because that they're the ones that would make the men who do anything and live by their own rules and they make them focus on someone else besides themselves, and that's a it's a feat. That's a feat, boy. You know. So I don't know, like I said in About Men 3, women, protect yourself. Protect yourself because you're a gift. You know what I mean? You're a gift. The bad guys don't know how to appreciate it. You know, don't open prematurely just because you antsy. You know, and and don't expect to find goodness in a bad person. This whole trying to reform or whatever, don't do that. Really, just find a good guy from jump. There's no need to go through all that complication and hassle. It doesn't need to be a struggle. There's too many other things that could come against y'all as a couple that having to deal with helping him become a good person, a good man, a good human. It's too much of a strain. You fighting a battle on multiple fronts. You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. And you don't have to. Later.